Well, welcome back my fantastic artistic friends to Painting with Master Temple. Now, bit of an unusual painting today. We've got a dry canvas board, a Winsor & Newton canvas board, good quality one, and it's completely dry. It's triple primed already as it comes from the factory, triple primed, but we're going to wash it with a little bit of wash made up of paint thinner and Prussian blue. Yes, we've gone for Prussian blue in this one. And once that's dry, we're going to just use nothing but palette knife. So we're going to use the big one and the little one to compose a nice little scene. Something simple that you've seen us do many times before on the channel, but we're just going to use the palette knife. So let's bring you up here and let's have a good crack at this one, eh? So the first thing to do is to take some paint thinner, and mix it with some Prussian blue to make a very thin wash. And let's go up here and put it on the canvas. Look, it's running, that's how thin you want it. Let's go to the canvas. So this is a dry canvas, very dry, so I'm just going to take this wash that we've made, start at the top and across the bottom. Okay, you can see it's starting to run. That's how thin this is. Okay, and then I'm just going to merge them together all the way along the top, all the way down to the bottom, like that. Now I'm going to wash the brush in odorless thinner. Okay, beat it, come back with a dry brush, clean dry brush, and then just remove all the excess paint. Okay, go up and down, left and right, and then leave that to dry completely. It may take about an hour or two to dry completely, just like that. So the first thing we're going to put up here, now the wash has had time to dry. Okay, the first thing we're going to put up here is a nice cloud. So let's grab some white off the palette and load the palette knife up. So loaded the palette knife up, and we're just going to put a nice big cloud. So all I'm going to do is just touch and turn, just touch and turn. And we're going to put a nice big cloud just up here. Get some more paint. So this will use quite a lot of paint, but when we're done we'll have a really thick, big, tactile painting, which will look quite neat. Okay, get a little bit on the other side, just pop it there, just like that, all the way off the edge. We'll go off the edge. Of course, clouds, painting clouds is quite free. No two clouds ever look very alike. They've all got their own individual personalities, haven't they? Okay, maybe take it out there, just like that. Just keep turning. Okay, so we're going to put some shadows under this cloud. So I'm going to grab a tiny bit of that Prussian blue, just a tiny bit. You don't need much. Take too much, it'll end up eating all your white cloud. So just a tiny bit of Prussian blue, just under there, like that. Okay, maybe a bit down there, a bit in there. Okay, just like that. Clean the knife off, and let's start to rub these two colours together. So just where they join, just circle them together. Some of that undercolour may show through, that's okay. Just create all kinds of little bumps and humps where the shadows will live in this cloud, just like that. Okay, and what we can also do is grab a bit of black as well. So wipe the knife, grab a little bit of black. It's midnight black. We can put a bit of a darker shadow just here, just at the edge, and just merge that and scrub that into places like that. So you've got to build up a colour now. Wipe the knife off, and again just tease the white into the black and into the blue, just like that. Okay, and what we can do, grab a tiny bit more white, and then just gently on some of the underparts we'll put a bit of reflected light just down there, like that. There we've got a cloud. There we have it. There we've got a cloud. Let's make another one. So let's grab some more white paint. Okay, and we'll start off here. And we'll just put another one. So just keep circling, pushing the white paint into the fabric. Make all kinds of fluffy looking shapes, just like a cloud would be. Maybe it comes down there, like that. Okay, and grab some of that Prussian blue, just the tiniest amount. And again, just on the underside. That looks black at the moment, but it's not, it's blue because it's so thick. But just on the underside, and then just merge the two colours together, tease them together, break up any straight lines that you may have, but leave thick parts of paint, leave thin parts of paint. Okay, let's put another one in. So again, grab some white paint, we'll put another one in here. We'll do a bit of a different one, okay? So we'll just push, really bend the knife. You can see the knife is bending there. We'll put a nice stringy looking cloud, okay? Let's grab some Prussian blue again, because we want to put some shadows on this one. Just a tiny touch, there, like that. Maybe it comes down there, like so. Now, what I'd normally do is just set that into the painting with a brush, but we're not using any brushes today. This is just all palette knife work. Okay, maybe a little bit more up there just to fill that right off the edge. Just there. Bit of a friend for the cloud as well there. There, just like that. So we've got a couple of clouds now. You can see on this one, I'm just going to add a bit more white to this cloud here. So if you get a little bit that you don't like, or you want to build up some more colour, just add a bit more white. Barely touch the canvas. There, like so. Take it off there, like that. Okay, let's work on a mountain. So for that, I'm just going to get a roll of black paint. So for that, let's get a little roll of black paint. Okay, I'm just going to make a nice small mountain. Where shall we put the mountain? We'll pop it there. Okay, right over that cloud. But we know that cloud's there, don't we? Okay, and really get in and scrape in the basic shape of a mountain. Okay, give them a little mountainy friend there. Okay, and bring that down. And I want to get in there and remove as much of this black paint as I possibly can. Maybe it comes up and around and down there, like so. The trick is, if you make your mountain far too big to start off with, if it goes wrong, you've got a big mountain to contend with. If you make it small like this, you can eventually grow it if you so wish. If you wish. Okay, just really firmly push that paint in there and get in there and scrape all the excess off. All the excess. Okay, just like that. Okay, we're going to put some white down here, so grab a tiny bit of white paint, and just under there I'm just going to put some white paint. Now what this would do is mist the base up, just like we would do on a normal mountain with the liquid white. Of course this canvas is dry, but with the liquid white we would be able to blend the base of this mountain into mist. Of course we can't do that here, so if we add a bit of white, we can make his own mist just down there, like so. And really firmly push. You won't hurt these palette knives, they're really thick, spring steel, and you can really bend them, get tough. There we go. So now we've created the undertone of a mountain. Okay, let's work on some highlights and shadows. So straight into some titanium white paint, and let's pick out some shadows. So I just gently want to just graze the side of this mountain. Only the roll of the paint is touching the canvas. I'll just gently graze. Go over the shadow. Allow the paint to break. Okay, and after each roll, reload the knife like that. Cause got to make some crazy sounds when we're painting. That's one of the deals we made, yeah. We're gonna make some crazy sounds. Pick out your little peaks. Let's highlight them. Go into the mist. Okay, just gently, gently, gently. Okay. If you pick up some of that background colour, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the grey showing through. Okay, let's work on some shadow. So this is just a mixture of Prussian blue and white. I'll just put a little bit of a shadow colour in there, like that. Work your way down into the mist of the painting, and again, the bigger peak will need its own shadow. So down it comes. Again, allow that paint to break. And again, keep loading the brush. This is just blue. Looks like another little peak's going to live there, and it does. Maybe one there. That easy. We've got some shadows. Okay, now let's get back to the highlight colour, which is just titanium white. So clean the knife off. Grab some more white. Okay, and I'm just going to come up here and let's redefine this edge. Like so. That's simple. That's simple. Again, on this one, we'll redefine this edge. We don't know where it's going. There. Add a thicker amount of paint. Paint has to be really thick for this to work. If you don't have thick paint, you may need to thick your paint up. And how you do that is just by placing your paint on a sheet of cardboard and allowing the cardboard to take off all the excess oil. You'll obviously lose some paint, but there we go. There's a nice mountain that goes down there. Maybe we'll join them two little areas up just like that. Bring it down, like so. Okay, down here, this is gonna be some more mist. Okay, I'm just gonna grab a little bit more of that shadow colour. It's almost the same colour as the canvas, which is good, which is all right. There, like so. So now we've got some highlights and some shadows on a mountain. Okay, I'm going to grab the bigger knife and get another little roll of paint, and I'm just going to push in. And the bigger knife probably works a little bit better than the little knife. I'm just going to push in some white. Follow the angles of the mountain that we've created. I'm just going to push in some white. And again, this will blend the base of the mountain into the canvas. Just push it in just like that. Try not to distort much of your mountain, but you do want to blend it away as such, and we can take it all the way off the canvas there, like so. And then same on this side, but we'll get a bit of that shadow colour for there. Maybe grey it up with a bit of black. Just a bit, maybe a bit too much there, but that happens. Scrape it off, add some white, and we can blend that in there, just like that. There we go. All the way down to the base. Okay, add some more white, so wipe the knife off. I'm going to grab a bit more white. I'm going to blend that all the way across, all the way up there. Really work it, really bend the knife, really work it. Follow the angles, follow the angles. It's most important that the angles get followed. There. And if you can see some of this canvas colour showing through as well, which will give another variant of colour to the canvas, to the mountain. So there we go. So now we've blended the base of that big old mountain. Okay, let's work on some middle ground material. Okay, let's work on some middle ground. So for that, I'm taking Viridian, burnt umber, and a touch of white to make a lovely minty sort of evergreeny colour, and we're going to follow the angles of these hills. So we just want to just touch on there like that. Okay, maybe that goes up there like so. And we're just going to touch on and create a little bit of middle ground. Now again, only a little bit of paint needed, just to tinge the canvas. Just to tinge the canvas. Maybe take that all the way off there like so. Okay, maybe run a couple up the side of these mountains. There, looks like a cool green colour. Okay, like that. Vary the thickness of the paint as well. Okay, maybe comes that way as well. We'll have to have something here to encase this in, but we don't know what it is yet. But this minty green colour, I think, looks quite good for middle distance trees and shrubs and forests and things like that. Okay, so just fill this bit in. So again, change the flavour if you need to. Add a bit more brown, add a bit more green, but we don't want it too dark just yet. As it's coming towards us, it'll get darker and darker, but for now it's like that. Okay, we could even add a little bit of snow on the ground as well. So if I take a tiny bit of white and add that in there, little bits of snow just creeping in there. Nice cool winter scene this. And today where I am, it's round about 29-30 degrees. So in this painting shed it's really hot. And with a flat cap on as well, that's no good. Okay, just a bit more. I think a bit more white will grab it just down there like that. It also blends the base of this middle ground line up as well. So really push, really get firm, bend the knife. Again, bend the knife. So we've got a bit of green, a bit of shrubbery, a bit of snow, just like that. There. Like so. Okay, getting there. We're composing a painting like that. Okay. Okay, so let's put some mud, I think, down here. I think we're going to have a little bit of a lake. So if we put some mud down there, so just a tiny bit of Van Dyke brown. Don't need to go heavy on this. Just a tiny bit of Van Dyke brown. Just there, like so. Okay. And again, let's blend that into the canvas. So just side to side strokes. Just push, push, push. There, like that. Okay. I can even cut off some, like we would do normally. Okay, I'm going to grab some of this green colour and white colour that we put on just above. A bit more white. It'll show through. Okay, there. Just pull that down. Pull, pull, pull. Maybe a bit of the green as well. I'll go in there. I've got variants of colour. And don't cover all that blue undercolour, that wash colour that we put on there, because that'll show through. Okay, get a bit too much of a lump that we possibly got there. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let's get some more white. We'll put that there. You can even paint the reflection of your mountain if you wish. And then just keep blending these together. Keep blending them together. I'm going to get some of that mountain shadow colour for there. There. And maybe a bit in there as well. Like that. Just keep playing with colour. Keep playing with it. And just keep pulling down. Take off any sharp edges that you have. Like that. Maybe a bit more white in places. Maybe there. Maybe come up to there. I don't know. just like that. Okay, we will cut in a waterline eventually. Maybe even grab a touch of Prussian blue. No, I'm going to grab phthalo blue. Change the blue a bit, I think. Add a bit of blue into that. Different colour blue will stand out. We've been using Prussian blue throughout this painting, but if we put a bit of phthalo in there as well. There we go. And then just gently blend that together. Just using nothing but the knife. There. There, like that. Maybe a bit more white. Just keep building it up, building it up, building up the paint. Again, this is not wet on wet. This is definitely not wet on wet. There. Like so. So now we have got a nice little... We've got a nice little lake. So I'm going to grab some more brown and just encase this part off. There. I don't know what we're having yet. I don't know what we're going to be painting yet, but just encase that off. And then I'm just going to blend the browns and the whites together. Just really kill that sharp edge. I don't like it. There. Like so. Just blend it, smush it, smooth it out. There, like that. Okay, and then we're going to cut in a nice little waterline. Okay, so for that, I'm going to grab some liquid white right on the edge of the knife, and then we're just going to, wherever the waterline should be, that's where we'll put it. Okay, and it's coming around the corner, so it should glide nice and straightforward, this, because the paint that we've got on there is very, very thick. Very thick. So just put a nice little waterline. A couple of little doofy-doos here and there. Some ripples. Like that. And push that water reflection right down into the canvas. There. Put as many in as you want, or as few. If you want a lot in, you put a lot in. If you don't put money in. It's up to you. Up to you. Okay, let's work on the foreground a little bit. So I'm going to take some black paint on the edge of the knife, and we're just going to put in something about there. Okay, we're going to have a tree, so we want something for this tree to sit on. So just really get in there and scrub in some black paint. Okay, just really push it in to the fabric. Okay, just like that. There we go. You can even push some lines up if you wish, just to diffuse that edge. There we go. So let's work on a tree. So I'm going to get some Van Dyke brown. Okay, Van Dyke brown on the knife, and I'm going to start off at the base. And I'm going to grow this tree to wherever I think it should grow to. Possibly about there, yeah? There we go. Okay. Burnt sienna and a touch of white. Just a touch of white paint. Will give us a nice highlight colour for this wood, for the tree trunk. So burnt sienna and white. And I'm going to start off here, round about there, and we'll put a bit of an highlight. Bend the knife and twist like so. So now we've got a highlight side. Now let's do the same thing with his shadow. So this is just Van Dyke brown, and then maybe a touch of white, not much. Van Dyke brown, touch of white. Okay, and same thing applies. Let's go about there, and then just bend the knife out. And there we've got a nice little tree trunk. Okay, and then we can clean the knife and then just smooth this together. Just smooth this together. Like that. You can even grab some black and just put some here and there, a little bit of an indication of some little creases in the bark. Just like so. Alright, so let's work on this tree. So I'm going to grab some sap green and viridian mixed in about equal quantities on the edge of the palette knife. Okay, and I'm going to start up here and I'm going to pull out the limbs of this tree. So I'm going to start off there and just pull, 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 okay? Adding more pressure as we get down. Keep getting the paint on the knife, okay? From the centre outwards. Okay, just like so. If some of that highlight colour, sorry, if some of that canvas colour shows through, that's alright. You would see that. You could see straight through the tree, wouldn't you? Okay, and then just keep going. Might be easier with a big knife. Don't know, maybe the little knife has more control. Okay, and just keep doing that. Layer after layer. Really thicken the paint up. Okay, this is just sap green and viridian. I've used viridian. If you don't have viridian, you could use phthalo green, I suppose. It's got a little bit of a nice fir tree colour to it, like an emerald colour. Okay, just flow these down just like that. We're going to come back in here and highlight these in a moment. Okay, let's paint some on the other side. Now, if you're ambidextrous, this is good. I'm going to load the knife in the opposite direction, so on this side, and then pull down this way. Okay, so start at the top. Okay, and if you've got a bit of a nervous twitch like I have, that works fine for you. Can't get this wrong. Of course, you don't want your tree up there, because if you do, you're going to have to paint a tree up there. But generally, this works quite good. Okay, just keep loading the paint on the knife. Keep adding more paint. Make it as thick as you wish. I think the thicker, the better. Because when you've, like I've said before, when you're left with a finished painting and it's dry completely, you will have a real thick, tactile painting. And if you're selling paintings, that's what people really look for. If they can see them in person, they can see the thickness of the paint, that's what they'll go for. That's what will send them mad. There we go. So that's his tree in basic form. Okay, we can add some of this green down here now by just tapping it in. But we'll come back and put some highlights onto this grasses and stuff before too long. But all we're bothered about now is his tree. Okay, let's go for some highlights. So I've mixed up some cad yellow, sap green, viridian, and a little bit of white just to make a nice, like a lime green colour. I don't want it overpowering. Of course, when we touch this colour, it'll mix with it as well when we touch the colour of the tree. But like we painted the highlights and the shadows of the mountain, what we're going to do is the same thing on the side of the tree. So just pick out some shadows and highlights. Of course, this is the highlight colour. So we'll pick out that first. Just wherever the highlight will be. Of course, the light is coming from the right on this tree, on this painting. So we'll pick out the highlights on this one first. I'll come back in and tinker with the shadowy colour. Darker down here. There. Give it a 3D effect. Okay, just like that. Okay, let's do the same on the other side. But what I've done is I've taken some phthalo blue, some viridian and sap green, and a little bit of white, just to make a little bit of reflected light. Now again, just touch, let it touch onto the high spots. Let it touch onto the high spots. Draw it out like this. You can't go wrong. Bigger strokes as we get towards the base of the tree. There. Just like we've put the highlights and shadows on the mountain. Okay. Can go back to a little bit of that highlight colour and just tinker with it tie it a little bit, merge them together a little bit. Maybe there's some that are falling over, some lights going across there, some shadows coming this way, wherever you think it should live. Okay, let's put a little bit of a cap on this tree, so a little bit of that highlight colour up there, like that. So when we come again, so I've changed the flavour a little bit. You can't really tell on camera. You can tell here, but you can't really tell on camera. So I'm just going to change the flavour a little bit. This highlight colour, shadow colour should I say. Just bring it down like that. Maybe a little bit more the white in there. Just touch and allow the paint to break on the tree. Like that. Maybe a bit more in there. Wherever we think these shadows and highlights should live, you'll know that's where they should be. Like so. A bit more in there. Just tease them together. Tease, tease, tease. I think we should have one just sneaking out from there. So this has gone back to the sap green. Just add it there, like that. There we go. And then just a little bit of that highlight colour, not much. This is going to be at the base of the tree, so just around there like that. There, break up that symmetry that we've created. We can even put a bit of black in places just for deep shadows. Deep shadows, just tiny bit of black here and there and here. Again, just build up the thickness of this paint. There. Like so. Like that. And then we've got like a 3D tree. So let's build up some grasses down here now. So I've taken yellow and sap green and I've not over mixed the paint. I'm just going to touch on and just put a little bit of grass. Just touch, touch, touch. Okay. Allow it to pick up some of that undercolour, that black paint. It'll get darker as we get underneath the tree. Like so. A bit more perhaps. Just as it comes up that root. Maybe a bit in there, sneak a bit in there. Like that. Again, the more you tap, the more it'll pick up that black paint. Get a little bit darker. Okay, some of this shadowy tree colour down here. Okay, I'm going to grab the tiniest bit of white because we've got snow and ice and everything up there. So just a tiny bit of white paint. And every now and again, just put a little bit of snow on the ground. There, like that. Maybe there's not much here. There, like so. Again, let it merge into the painting. Okay, and then just grab the knife, clean knife, and then just drag it up. Cut in some of the little trees and sticks that are just starting to form down there, like that. Let the palette paint show through, let the original paint show through. There we go. Almost to a finished painting, but what I want to do is put some, I can see some black where the mountain colour showing through, so I'm going to put a little tiny bit of black just in here, just in places, just so it picks up a little bit of that. So just put a little bit of black in there, not much, don't need to go crazy over this. Maybe a little bit of the green colour, so there's just a bit of that shadowy green colour. If you go over your water lines, that's fine, it's okay. You can put them back in. Just smush that in, smooch it in. Okay, like that. Clean your knife off and just blend this into the reflection, just like that. There we go. Like so. A bit of colour there, maybe a bit of blue. Across there. Like that. Back to the white. for some water lines. Refirm some of these water lines. Go across there. There we go. So I think we're nearly done our finished painting, just all with the palette knife. Well, there we go, my fantastic artistic friends. A painting completely done just using the old palette knife. And if you make friends with this, you can do some absolute fantastic works of art. If you do this one or something very similar, tag me in a picture, send me a picture. I'd love to see what you guys are getting up to. And if you do like this, please subscribe to the channel, give this old video a thumbs up, leave me a nice big comment. And until next time, take care of yourself, stay safe, happy days.